What's going on, guys? It is the underpaid producer, and as you can see, Mike and Dave are sitting here looking like absolute morons. I turned off their mics, so you can't hear them very well, but I will tell you right now that in this episode, we covered religion and a lot of edibles, marijuanas. So stay tuned and listen to our nonsense and my amazing cues that I brought up during the episode. Hope you enjoy. Sit down, relax. If you're driving, make sure you're paying attention to the road. All right.
You hear that? What? You hear that? Move. You hear that? What? You hear that? Move. You hear that? What? You hear that? Oh yeah, it's your boy.
I stayed up. Okay, so yesterday was Wednesday, right? Yeah. So it's my first night off. So I worked Tuesday night into Wednesday. I stayed up. I was like, I'm going to get a few hours sleep. And then I'm going to take Allison and we're going to go get her a car or do something with her car. Her lease is due. I mean, due in the next couple weeks.
Oh.
We have to do something. Dude, I have been getting calls.
I've got that coming up in June, dude.
It's the lease turn-in people, the people who want to inspect your car who are contracted out, they will not ever stop calling. They called my work.
What?
Yeah, they called my freaking work.
That's intense.
Just so you know,
intense.
General Motors. So, yeah.
Dude, my GM finance for the lease, their customer service is the utter worst.
Is it really?
It is terrible.
Well, why would you have to call them, though?
Because they a few months ago decided, hey, our whole system is changing. You're going to have to re-sign up for autopay.
Wait. I ignored all those. Are you serious?
You might not have been making your car payment, bro. I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
Crap. I've literally ignored all those.
They literally did a system change.
Yeah.
And because we were like, we got a late notice.
God,
we got a late notice
me?
for payment. And we're like, what? We're on autopay. We've been on autopay for 2 years.
Yeah.
Right? And
I have two.
we
years.
had to go back in,
you're
reset it up.
kidding
Now
me.
get this. They screwed up Sherry's. So for the last
She's an angel.
I know, and she was just on hold for 45 minutes and she was not happy.
Oh my gosh.
And so we change it. She re-signs up. Doesn't come out. Another late notice. Had to fix it. Then she signs up. It takes.
Oh my gosh.
And then we get like this other thing. Like, wait, how come the payment didn't come out? Right? Oh, because when you re-sign up, like, so our lease payment comes out on the 25th. Let's say, right? Well, she signed up on the 5th of the month, so the payment due on the 25th of January won't come out till February 5th because it only comes out on the date you sign up. And she called customer service, and she's like,
me?
"Yeah." And now, speaking of that, when you call, it knows her number, so it defaults to the sell you something new, right? Even this lease, because we're within 6 months of it ending. So it doesn't even actually go to customer service when you call the customer service number because they're trying to sell you through something else. She's like, I just need to get this squared away. And my wife isn't like a swearing woman, really.
Right.
And
she's an angel.
When she's texting me saying like expletive,
oh my gosh.
I've been on hold for 45 minutes trying to make this get this squared away. And they basically said she said I was treated like crap. I got passed around, and then they're like, well, there's nothing we can do. She's like, just change the date that it comes out. She's like, well, you'd have to cancel autopay and redo it
on the date, you said.
On the date that you want the payment to come out.
Let me ask you this then, because...
And here again, for the record, this has nothing to do with the topic of the day.
And not just that, but they do not sponsor us.
This is part of the Weekend Review!
Wait, aren't they all basically weekend reviews?
Yes.
Okay, so you're killing me here because I know that my next one won't come out then because I have been ignoring them.
Hey, listen, man, I couldn't tell you what's going on with them. All I know is
Son of a bee stinger, because
we got an email that said the system is changing and whatever's happening, and we had to.
Okay, no, I did too. Well, I
we had
got
to
the
go
same
in
emails, but I didn't read it.
Manually,
you read those emails?
Sometimes.
I didn't read it. I was
we
like,
had to
system
manually,
changes. Who gives a shit?
We could pay it online, but we had to manually do it.
Right,
go in
right.
and do it, and then reset up autopay.
But when you reset up auto pay, is it going to reset up for the date that you paid it?
I don't know what's going on.
Well, and that's my thing,
Mine
like-
seems to be working fine, and hers isn't.
Okay, so if say
It's
my
crazy
payment
'cause we
was
did
due
it at
on
the
the
same
first,
time across the kitchen table.
right? Of course. So say mine was due on the first, and I went in and did a manual payment, and I tried to change the auto pay. You know, I like tried to re-register or whatever. So like, okay, the first, but I say I paid it on the first, but it's due on the 5th or something like that. Would they change it to the first then? Or-
Man, you got to call customer service.
It's that messed up. Okay, all right.
You're going to be on hold, dude.
I'm gonna have a late fee, or they better not late fee me.
Well,
I'll kill them.
No, but
Oh,
depending on how long this has been going on for you, bro, you might have already spent that money.
3 years.
Yeah.
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 I mean, they haven't taken
probably
anything
gonna
out
have
in
to leave
2.5
the country.
years.
So I was late to work the other day.
Oh no. What? Tell me.
So, I'm not going to get into it all because this topic. I don't even know if we'll ever cover it or if, whatever. You just came from a funeral visitation, and we talked about this on the phone the other night. And I went to a funeral a couple weeks ago, and I'm just tired of going to funerals.
Yeah.
But that's a whole other topic.
It is funny because we probably talked about it for 30 seconds, and we had both already had enough.
We had enough of the conversation.
Yeah,
It was. We know
Yeah.
exactly what we're saying.
Yeah,
Just
and
whatever.
what each other said. Yeah, I get it.
If you're a cop, maybe there's cops out there without going to a lot of funerals, and I've just been to too many, and I'm really tired of it.
And
but
or if you, and I'll be honest with you, if you're a new police officer and you haven't been to any, you need to go to them.
oh yes, absolutely.
But Mike
It'll-
and I have both decided it's like
It'll wear on you.
It was funny because I was like, Mike, I have to go to this visitation. I can't go to the funeral. I can't do another one. I had to stop going. I can't keep doing it. He's like, dude, I get it. And we're like, it was about 30 seconds, and we're like, next topic.
Yep.
Yeah. it
So
was rough.
I only mention it because it was part of the reason that I was late, kinda. Apparently, I wrote down the wrong work dates. I work part-time now. Most everybody knows that at this point. I work part-time. So we put it in the calendar and kind of like, I should remember it, right? I mean, it's a responsibility thing. I'm a grown-up.
It's one of those
In
things.
theory. I just had the wrong date in my head. For whatever reason, in my head, the next time I was working was February 3rd, which is this Saturday, which is actually wrong. It's Sunday. I worked Sunday,
Which is what date?
February 4th, the Super Bowl Sunday. I worked that afternoon shift.
Okay. So you wrote the 3rd, but you worked the 4th. Now, this obviously
I
must
did.
come in play with earlier.
Right, but I missed the fact that I was working January 20th.
Oh, shoot.
So, fortunately for me, at the funeral luncheon was a cash bar, not an open bar, because I didn't have cash.
Because I would have been blottoed.
So we had some diet pops, and we went home. And the plan was I was going to drop Sherry off at home. I was going to be, maybe eat something, and then I was going to be going to another guy's house,
Right,
and
right,
hanging out for the night with guys from the department. So from my old department. So we that was the plan. Get home and walk in the door, look at my phone, got a text. Hey, where are you at? It was the guy that I should have been relieving. This is like 3:03 in the afternoon, let's say.
And what time
3
are you supposed to relieve him?
I start at 3.
Okay, so he knows that like you probably come in at 2:45 or whatever time.
Normally I'd be there
and
15,
there's no
20 minutes,
problem.
blah, blah,
Okay,
blah.
Yeah.
He happened to not really know who his relief was or pay attention to that, because there's a lot of part-time guys in this
Yeah, yeah.
department. So 3:03, hey, where are you at? And I'm like, why do you ask? It's none of your business.
Yeah.
I
don't know why you're.
He's like, you're my relief. And I'm like, yeah, okay. He's like, I'm serious, bro. And I was like,
oh my goodness.
and he's like, I got to be out of here. He's like, I have plans. Like, he actually had a birth in the family, like, of a
Oh,
baby.
yeah, big time
And he's
then,
supposed to
yeah.
be there, and they got to drive an hour or whatever. I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like, and I looked. I'm like, pulled up the email,
Yeah.
and I'm like, sure enough, I'm like, no way, holy crap, how did I miss this? Writing these wrong dates down, you know? And he's like, by the way, our new chief, again, didn't even know we had a new chief.
Yeah, because you got hired in by a different chief.
Yes, our new
Not
chief
that long ago.
is here, waiting to meet you at shift change.
Oh my gosh, Mike.
So, I'm going to incriminate myself here because I live for a 48-minute drive with no traffic.
You practically live a fortnight away.
Practically a fortnight away. Bully. And I was able to shower, shave, and get to work.
In 5 minutes. Close.
I showed up at about 4:03. 60 minutes. Shower, shave, drive.
Hold on. Slow clap.
I didn't do the math
I
on
can't
it.
believe that you hit every light perfectly. Well done.
That did happen. Everything
It happens.
fell into my favor when I needed it to.
That's
which is
life.
great.
That's life. I cannot
Wow,
believe you were
your
able to-
mic luck didn't activate for once.
Well, I
For
mean,
one
the whole
time.
situation was sort of a Mike Luck situation.
But when I was in
started off there.
when I was in San Diego for a
San
Project Human,
Diego.
San Diego.
whale's vagina.
Whale's vagina.
When I was in San Diego, I mentioned
disagree.
Mike Luck one time, and everything started
apart.
going wrong.
See?
It's a
Everything.
curse, man.
Son
It is a
of a
curse. The whole
bee
family calls it
sting.
Mike Luck. Every time something goes wrong, it's how my
But
life
can I
goes.
can I
know
tell
what?
you something that happened
When
to
I'm
me?
around you, Mike,
Yes.
I call it Mike Luck because I'm lucky to have you.
Thank you, buddy.
I could put pictures up from it, but I had the worst.
It's because I've been drinking. Sorry. I had something in my head.
I had the worst bloody nose this week
Oh, you did.
ever.
Yeah, there are pictures.
So I was driving home.
Going through this pretty quickly.
I was
Small.
I was driving home,
Good point.
and I had like a low hanging booger. You know when like you're breathing and it's like
had a
yeah.
low
Gotta
it's
get
like
rid of
just
those.
you. I
That's
so
going in the title of this episode.
low hanging booger.
We've
So
all been there.
It's going to be called Religion and Low-Hanging Boogers.
So I went to
Your choice.
go like pick this booger, and I like flicked it down, and I remember I
You
just
flicked it down?
No, don't.
well
say
I didn't
that.
have anywhere else to go.
You got to put it out the
Okay,
window,
that's
maybe.
fine. Okay, so
No, you
that-
don't
hey,
put your
no,
boogers on the floor
listen,
of your
just listen.
car.
See, this is where parenting comes in play here. Even though he's 19, you say you don't pick boogers. I wiped it and it came out, and then I was able to discard it.
You tell me you've never flicked a booger down. You have. I've watched you do it. You're disgusting. You disgust me.
Wait, he's like a woman. He just changed it over and
All
just
right.
somehow made you the bad
Anyway.
guy.
You turd.
So I feel like a bunch of like liquid just start pouring out of my nose. I'm like,
Oh,
what?
yeah.
Like literally just straight up right down to my chin instantly. And I put my hand on my face and I pulled it back, and my whole hand was covered in blood. Like,
That was a good
I've got
one.
and
pictures.
listen,
It was
listen,
a
I get-
squirter.
I
Wait.
get
Wait, why are you laughing?
I
What do you-
get
what-
I
what do you
get
mean?
sick. I get sick at the sight of my own blood. Like
Oh,
I feel
really?
like I feel like kind of nauseous and dizzy. And so I was like, "Oh no." And I was like one street away from my house. So I
you're
start
close,
driving
you're
over there,
close.
but I have no tissues or anything in my car. So I'm like grabbing old receipts and like holding them up, but it like there was blood.
Can you picture this?
There was blood all the way down my arm,
Oh,
all over my
yeah.
hand,
You had a
all over
good
my
one
face.
then.
And I literally I was pulling into my into my driveway, and my
Yeah.
hand was covered in blood. But I like there was somebody else coming. I was like, I have to turn now.
It was a
So
virtual bloodbath.
I got blood all over my steering wheel and all over my aux cord. And
Let me tell
it
you
was,
why
like,
this wasn't.
awful.
It wasn't enough blood. If it was a lot of blood, you'd have been like slipping and sliding on your steering wheel. Boom.
Yeah,
Right there. See?
that's true.
See? So you
But-
weren't that bad. You're
But
good.
man, it was like
it
it
was
was
a
awful.
virtual bloodbath.
It was awful.
Yeah.
And yeah, show them the pictures if you can find them.
Oh,
Just
God,
go to the
here we go.
information part on our family group chat, dude. It was bad.
The best, he's got a smile on his face. He's like,
You got a smile. Oh, there's this granddaughter there. But yeah, that's
yeah, looks like he got stabbed in the hand.
yeah.
No, that's a
But
good
you came
one.
running in
Actually,
the
that's-
house and they thought that you had been attacked. or
Yeah, they
something
were
like
like,
Oh
that.
my God!
Leah was like, "What?"
yes.
Because I was like kicking the door because like blood is pouring all over me, and I'm like, I just don't want. I don't want to have to wash this out of my clothes,
Dude,
So
that I don't mean to be a one-upper, but I am. is that I've had to have my nose cauterized because I get blood, because of jujitsu.
Yeah.
So I get
Really from jiu-jitsu. I did
Yeah.
have to. I had a broken nose and a nasty
I did-
bloody
I
nose,
did
like
too, yeah.
cauterization back in high school from wrestling.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, mine got it wasn't a break. It was where it goes sideways, which isn't a break. It's the cartilage snaps.
Yeah,
but-
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's not. I wouldn't consider that a break.
It kind of like folds over.
Yeah. So I was able to push it back. I actually have video of it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if I don't think I'd be able to find it though. I would
you
try
should
though,
look.
but
You should look.
Yeah, it got snapped over. You could hear it. I actually have the I have the footage, and it was somebody's heel.
That does not.
It
Sound
went
fun.
like that. And I was
Was
like,
it painful?
Oh man, yeah, oh yeah. I knew right away I had a problem, and and I went over there and, I actually put it back myself, and so
Like Lethal Weapon. There's a cop movie we didn't mention.
Yes, you're right. Well,
Not-
no, I think we did. I actually think we did last time. Yeah,
Maybe a
I
couple
think we
times
did.
ago?
I think
Maybe.
we did. But yeah, and it's I'm not a tough guy by any means. I'm just saying, like, I was able to put it back because I didn't know what else to do. Like, I knew there was like,
Right.
and yeah, so and then I had to go get it cauterized because I was like, man, I there's nothing I can do. And the doctor's like, dude, well, it wasn't break. It was a cartilage that snapped on it, but it was not a break. So
Jeez.
yeah, I've had them cauterized a couple times. So yeah, it's not too bad to have them cauterized. It's not that bad. It's just like this stick that just.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, towards like
burns it closed.
It
towards
burns it
like
close,
the
smells
end
really
of
good.
winter, towards the end of
It's like burning ants. Magnifying
Kind of,
glass.
a little bit, right?
towards the end of winter though, I do tend to get like really awful
and
nosebleeds.
this has been just a crazy season for that, right?
I'm
So-
very ready for. Well, then spring is going to make allergies worse again, and then it's terrible.
I've literally
Terrible.
been exposed to like 10 sick people who have been like throwing up or have like
me
bronchitis
too.
fevers, and I'm like, how did I make it out alive?
dude, I have no idea.
I've come out unscathed so far too.
I
except
have no
for the
idea.
allergies.
We are, you know why?
dude,
Jiu-jitsu.
This is fucking podcast.
It's the wait.
It's
yeah,
not jujitsu,
'cause He
it's
doesn't
the
do
podcast.
jujitsu. He's
I-
a lazy
listen.
slug.
Oh my god, it's
So
a
it's the
podcast.
podcast.
dude, because I was at
Guys, this is our bonding moment.
This
We-
all started with the team building.
we are immune. If there was a zombie apocalypse, our team building would be the cure.
Oh my god,
We're ready.
we are ready. That
We're
and
ready.
that and a lot of ammo.
Send this.
Yeah. Which
Send
I
this
have.
to the Walking Dead producers because that's how they can end that godforsaken show. Team building
yes.
ends the apocalypse. It's the cure. Everybody goes home happy.
team building. Google team building. End it now, please, guys.
That show
seriously.
could be done.
End it now.
I'm honestly, I know this is off topic, but I after like the third episode
This is not off topic.
Of
You
that-
are on topic
of
right
that
now.
new season
No,
of The Walking Dead.
You have to do more than that. Okay, I have.
Listen, no, I don't care. After
You're
after
still
they
in?
after they were shooting,
I can't say I am.
okay, listen. After Negan walks out,
We've already talked about this.
I know, but I'm just bringing it up again because I'm still pissed.
We're
They
gonna
ruined
rehash.
a perfectly
Well
good
done.
show.
Right now, somebody's like,
spoiler. Yeah, spoiler.
I don't
Fast
care.
forward.
You know what? Yeah, spoiler alert.
Why? Like it's actually a record.
Walking Dead.
I could do that.
Hey,
I could do that.
This
all night,
episode's
seriously.
called Religion and Booger. We've only talked about boogers.
Sorry.
What-
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
So as soon
what
as
did I say we were going to call this?
I don't know, nobody cares.
That's true. They don't. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
you probably get
Let's
it.
call it Nobody Cares.
Man, that's a harsh. That's a harsh.
it's a harsh reality.
It's a harsh reality.
Harsh
joke right there.
reality. But I get it. I get it.
But
Here we go. No. Okay.
but
go.
no, he walks out on this balcony. Listen, he
I-
walks out.
I know.
Anybody, literally, my little sister could have pulled out a gun, and she does not shoot guns, and she could have shot Negan right in between his eyes
You know
because they
why
were
she
literally
wouldn't have done it?
30
'Cause
feet
she's
away
an
from each
angel.
other.
An actual angel, not like your wife, who's an angel, but in a different way.
My wife's a saint. Anna's an angel.
I love you, Mike.
But yeah,
He's like,
after
I don't know what to think
after
about
that show, after that episode, I was like, that's too dumb. They're just trying to drag it out,
Okay,
the fight between
just
them.
just so you know.
Because I've read the comics, and
Just-
I love the comics.
Okay, wait, stop, please stop what you're doing. Two things. First, I get what you're saying about the TV episode or the episode. Worst ever. It does get better. However, I'm nowhere near the end of the season. I went like I'm gonna say six episodes in, it gets better. I promise. However, with that, take it with a grain of salt. It's still getting worse and worse in the end.
Yeah.
As far as the comic goes, I don't know what to do now because there are so many. What do they call it? Compodiums or something like that, where they
Arcs?
no the actual where they sell. They're starting to sell.
Oh, compendiums.
Compendiums. Okay.
Yeah.
They're starting to sell them in huge, like big ones now. And so they used to be real small, but there's been so many come out. Like they have like 3 enormous ones now.
Encyclopedic size.
They are huge. They're bigger than that, I think. And so I want to read them.
The Walking Dead Britannica.
Yes. I love you, Mike.
That comes out every fortnight. Bullet.
It probably does. But so I have to ask this. So and I know that you've read the comics as well, right? As
Parts.
We'll call it a graphic novel. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Would you
I am
say,
not very well versed in it. Like,
okay. So but you are more well.
Yeah,
okay.
I've
So-
gotten just a bit past where they're at right now in the show.
So you are obviously a fan of the comic or the graphic
Yeah,
novel.
for
Okay,
sure.
so can I ask you this? From a guy who has never read the graphic comic but is a comic nut, should I start at the beginning and read the whole thing? Would I be good just because I don't care? I can separate, though.
I would say the storyline and like what happens in the comic makes a whole lot more sense than what they do in the show.
Okay.
And I feel like they tried with the show just
but
differentiating.
will I be happy if I were to get? They have like 3 of them now. They're huge. Again, they used to be like this big, and now
See,
they
I
have
only
to put so
I
many,
read like the first 2 of the smaller ones,
Yeah.
the thinner ones, on paper, and then I read the rest on
They've
like a tablet.
Okay.
So-
well, either one, and I'm fine with that
Yeah.
too. So will I be happy if I read the comic?
I think you'd be happy. Yeah, I think it'd be a nice break from the show.
Okay. So I'm pissed at myself because I am not just a comic book nut, but I also collect splash pages, which is if you don't know, it's the original 11 by I believe 14, or the double version of comic books. So an artist will get a scene in, and what they do is they recreate it on 11 by 14. I say recreate. They actually create it on 11 by 14 paper, or it's like a board. And then they send that off to the creators that they created put it into a comic book. So I collect those pages, the original pages, and the original page of Rick waking up in the hospital of the comic was for sale for auction, and it went for like $5,000.
Wow.
And that's nothing. And I'm upset that I didn't actually buy it. That's how nerdy I am.
Dang.
Because I collect
That's nerdy.
I collect splash. The most I've ever spent is almost $1,000.
Okay, so
It was a double. It was a double page.
So-
but yeah.
I know we're off topic. Maybe we can just actually take this out for
no.
Patreon.
Oh,
but
yeah,
But
maybe.
listen, look, I was so obsessed with the comics that I drew Rick and Carl from the comics on my own a while ago.
Well, I may have to do that then. Again, I just want. The only reason I haven't jumped in is because I want to experience something different with that. I don't want to go. Well, it's the same thing as the show. I don't care
See,
about.
no,
there's
I drew Rick.
Oh, nice. You actually
And then
aren't too bad. I mean, you're an
There's
idiot.
Carl when he got shot
but-
in the face.
Oh yeah.
What a loser.
He should have
It's a
died.
dark child.
God,
right
he
there.
should have died. Yeah, but yeah, that is a little dark.
He's
May
got
want to
issues.
get him to see someone.
He's got issues.
I didn't cause this. Sorry. Okay.
Okay,
Sorry.
now
Just shuts
I've
the
got a
cameras
new.
off.
I've got a new segment.
My wife made me buy that splash page. Just so you know.
Made you.
She did. I'm not kidding. She's awesome.
She is awesome. Also a saint.
Not an angel.
Not an angel, saint.
Definitely a saint. I like that. You know what?
Yeah.
I love you, Mike.
So this new segment, our intro. Are you ready?
Ready.
In the news.
That's just how you differentiate. Is just
Yeah, it's
like
just the
by
words.
it's just a play on words.
The sound is the same. In the news.
Dude, WKRP in Cincinnati.
WKRP in Cincinnati.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
dude.
Oh yeah.
Baby, if you've ever wondered whatever became
That's
of
another
me.
throwback show. Doggone.
I'm
All right.
living on you.
So Dave, would you Would you take $75,000 to be pepper sprayed?
Let me yes.
What would you do? I actually thought to myself when I saw this news article, you remember this iconic scene? This guy in Baltimore during the riots got sprayed thoroughly in the face and then pulled down to the ground. Do you remember that?
No,
video?
I don't.
It was a pretty
remember.
viral video.
You're
thing.
saying $75,000 to get pepper sprayed?
This guy got. Oh, here's what happened: is he sued and he won
Awarded him.
$75,000.
Holy crap!
Because he was alleging that he was in pain for 21 days.
Well, he's an idiot.
And
'Cause
now
that's not
the
actually
other
true.
the other allegation, which I haven't. This is just a headline, right? I haven't dug into this.
Right.
He's saying that he was sprayed with the stuff that would be designed for crowds, not an individual, and so the amount of stuff that was sprayed on him was excessive.
I still don't think that's
$75,000.
It's more of a, that's just a foam. It's not a. It's. I don't think it's any more. or any less, is it?
$75,000.
Well,
Now, this is a whole other topic, right? We've already mentioned several things that are whole other topics. But settling out of court because it's cheaper, right? This whole...
in the end.
Oh, my
So he
goodness.
got paid
Although
$3,500 a day for his pain.
Yeah. You know what
Yes.
though? My department doesn't play that. They doesn't play that. Homie, don't play
I
that.
would love that.
Yep.
I would love it.
My
I've
department does
got
not play
stories about this, and we'll cover that sometime. I don't know, but yeah, $75,000. What would you do? This made me think.
I would
so
eat
this-
a Klondike bar.
I would eat a lot of Klondike bars for $75,000. I would make myself throw up Klondike bars.
I would eat a Klondike bar for free.
And eat them again.
I would pay to eat a Klondike
I would
eat
eat
bar.
them
them-
for free.
No, if you... Okay, $75,000
He's
for
got a good radio voice.
eating...
Oh, yeah.
Eating
Eat enough Klondike bars to throw up, and then
And
eat
then
them
you
again.
have to eat them
That's-
again.
You don't have to pay me to
Yes.
do that.
And then
that's seriously a Wednesday night for me.
Would you poop it out and then eat it?
Yes.
For $75,000?
Yes.
I don't think I could do it.
I could buy a
just
house
throw-
cash. Are you kidding me?
Okay, so let me ask. Okay, now we're into the weird stuff.
Oh no! What's going on? What's going on in
Do
the
you-
back
what
of your
would you-
mind, Dave?
Dude,
Well,
there's
no,
like
no,
so
well,
many things.
I don't know.
Listen,
You
as
tell
a
me,
cop-
poop eater.
Listen, you poop eater.
What do you tell me, poop eater?
Listen, man,
Well,
we
can
played
you-
this
can
game.
you-
Tell
can
me
you
if you
get
played
sick
this
for that?
game.
Can you get sick eating?
I don't
No,
want
see-
to. I don't want to get too
But
demented.
see, I do not get. I don't.
$75,000.
but hold on, dude. We have done
Hey,
this game.
I will not do anything when it comes
make the
close
bridge,
to
bro.
prostitution because that is stupid. Like $20 is $20 to like.
He won't kiss a dude for
Yeah.
$1 million, but he'll eat Klondike poop for $75,000. Okay, listen,
I will
you
not
are
do
an
anything
idiot.
with anyone else.
You would
for
not
money.
touch your tongue to another man's tongue for $75,000.
Nope.
bucks.
I do it for $2.
$1 million. $1 million.
I'd do it for $2. Mike, here's $2. Wait, what?
Both men signing a declaration that they're not homosexuals.
Nope, I wouldn't do it.
Who cares?
Okay. Listen,
I would. That's just too
I mean,
much
I wouldn't
for
do it
me.
for $2.
this is good because we're going to get into this topic later. Kind of, maybe, sort of,
what
but not
would
really.
you do? Oh my
Listen,
gosh, that's a great topic.
This isn't. This does open
could
up a whole
have
door.
them-
We
we
played
could
this
do-
game at
We
different.
could do a live stream where people ask us, "What would you do? Would you do it?"
Yeah, we should do that.
Holy poop eating.
What would you
I
do
would
for
do
money?
that.
Holy poop!
Everyone, holy poopies,
Holy
The
poopies.
title of that live stream will be "Everyone Has Their Price."
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Yes.
Well, that's just
Put
like,
it in the book. Schedule it.
And my
producer.
sister says this one very well. Like it's the whole like, hey, I like the way you look. Would you want to have make sweet love and
Right.
And we all know where this is going, right? So like, would you want to get together for $500? No. How about $1,000? No. How about $30,000? Oh, okay. And
Yes.
then be like, well, yeah. And then it goes to like, well, I'm not. Well, we've already established what you are. It's, and I have to do this from a guy's point of view because I can't do it from a because a
played
woman can
this,
say the same thing about a
dude.
guy, right? It all goes the same way. It's about money and what would you do? At what depths would you go for money, right?
Right. I think there's a lot of gross things that I've engaged in. Not. No. Wait. Hold on. No, that came out totally
No.
wrong.
Do that ever again?
Dad, what are you telling me?
Dad? Dad? What's wrong? No. It came out wrong.
Oh no, that's
A, you're not my son, and B,
Well, funny
You're
story.
adopted.
Yeah.
Dude, that's seriously, I almost lost it.
Okay, listen. No, I'm saying like
I'm
that-
glad I wasn't drinking anything.
That was awesome.
that game. What Would You Do for Money has taken on many police scenes a very crude turn. So,
Including Bright.
including
the movie Bright.
So, but anyway, that was in the news. I thought I would just throw it out there. Next, moving on before we get down that, because we've already titled a whole new
Actually,
podcast.
Mike, we ought to do that because I actually think there is a separation there. I know it sounds weird, but it comes down to, like you said, what would you do for money, or everyone has a price.
Yeah.
Do they? Because if you were working,
Right.
and blah blah blah, would you? As opposed to, hey, you're not working. You're regular Dave or regular Mike, and blah blah blah. Things change a lot.
Yeah.
It's weird, right? Because in the end, there's people in this world of all occupations and careers that would jeopardize their career for the dumbest shit.
Oh yeah.
And so there comes a point, right?
Right.
Because there comes a point of morality and my God, what do we even call it? I mean,
Ethics.
yeah, right? It's weird. So, yeah, okay. So,
All right,
sorry,
that's-
Mike. So go ahead.
Moving on to the second thing in the news, which this will ultimately
In the news. This is Gary Gnu. No Gnu's
No Gnu's
is good
good
Gnu's
Gnu's.
with Michael Gnu.
with Gary Gnu. you don't remember that? Of course not.
No.
All right, so here's the deal. Okay, this is also in the news. Stop trying to peek.
With the Great Space Coaster. Sorry.
Wow, that's really throwback.
Yeah,
You're
thank
old.
you.
Okay, the headline: Toronto police officers call for backup after reportedly getting high on edibles. Let me read this, dude. 2 Toronto police officers have been suspended with pay after allegedly getting high while on duty. The officers reportedly ate marijuana edibles that were supposed to be seized as evidence after raiding a dispensary Saturday night, a police source told News Talk 1010. It has identified 13 Division Constable Vittorio Domino and his partner as the officers who are being investigated by the force's Professional Standards Unit. The 2 were so high they started hallucinating. One of them climbed into a tree. The partner then called fellow officers for backup. One responding officer slipped and fell while chasing the other of her stoned colleague. She
my
sustained a
gosh.
serious head injury.
That
Bro.
is like Ricky Bobby when he tried to make a comeback and he thought he was on fire and he was stripping down to his tidy whities. And they were
Bro.
trying to tackle
So
him.
this whole thing.
Sing
right?
it, baby Jesus.
Help me, Tom Cruise. Help me, Oprah Winfrey. Save me, Tom Cruise, with your voodoo magic.
It's exactly like that.
Yes.
You know that, right?
You're chasing your partner into a tree after getting high.
That's just.
That reminds me
That
of
is
a
a story. If they
the
keep their
low.
jobs, that is a story of a lifetime at
It
a
reminds me
retirement
of a
party, bro.
certain Michigan
Yes,
canine
Dearborn
officer.
Heights, right?
Yes. Called because
Called during a Red Wings.
During a Red
wanted
Wings
to know
game.
the score of the Red Wings
Yeah.
game, and 911
And then thought
they
he
thought
was
they were
dying.
dying because they baked the marijuana into the brownies.
Yes.
Classic, absolutely classic.
So that is so
So listen,
good.
here's what I wanted to do for YouTube. Okay,
You want to get high off edibles.
Well, that'd be great. One day. One day I will.
When I'm retired and it's legal, of course.
Of course. What I wanted to do was I just wanted to just role play for a second. This will be for YouTube. Like, I was going to patrol my streets, but then I got high. I was going to catch the bad guys, but then I got high. Right? So, okay. So let's...
I was going to stream this podcast, but I got high.
All right. So catchy. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to role play. Let's just imagine me and you partners. Also, we're gonna make a cartoon of Spinetti. I'm just throwing the name out there.
Are you really? Are you going to make
We have to
Spinetti?
do it. We have to write these cartoons.
Spinetti's been around longer than us.
The Adventures of Spinetti. I'm just gonna say it. Everybody's gonna be like, "What are they even talking about?" Not gonna say it.
Nope.
Lock it up.
Nope.
Zip it up. Not gonna mention it.
Because Spinetti
Do you
is,
even know what I'm
is-
talking about?
Is Spinetti.
Yeah, I know. talked to me about it, and
Okay,
I
you
know
better
it's a
shut
thing.
up about
I know
Spinetti.
it's a thing.
Okay, enough.
It's not just a thing; it's an entity.
Spinetti's real. Okay.
Damn
So-
right. It's damn right.
So here's what I want to do is for the sake of YouTube, we're gonna clip this up, right? We clip our podcast down for YouTube. Just want to like role play for a second. Me and you, we're partners on the street.
You're putting me on the spot right now.
Yes, I am.
You're-
And
like, Dave, be funny.
I'm
Do
not
it.
saying be
Do it
funny.
now.
I'm just
Oh.
saying roll. Just pretend. Let's pretend for a second that me and you, we get edibles, and we eat our edibles.
But that makes me.
And
I
now
have
what?
to be funny now.
Now what? Now what? Dave. We just ate edibles, bro.
Dude,
We have 6 hours to go on our shift, Dave.
you're a horse.
Dave, I'm a horse. What do you got, a saddle? You got a saddle in the trunk that you're going to put on me, Dave?
Dude,
Dave,
bruh.
Dave, that brownie was big, Dave.
It wasn't small.
Hey, Dave.
Mike, I love you.
Dave, we're supposed to catch the bad guys.
We are the bad guys.
We are the bad guys.
Mike,
Dave, we just became bad guys.
Mike,
Dave,
there's a tree over
those brownies
there.
made
He's
us
a
bad guys. Those brownies made us into bad guys.
There's a Dearborn
What if the DEA's
officer
out
we
there?
can call right now.
What if the DEA's out there?
You better hide.
I better hide. Dave,
Where the hell are you gonna hide, bro?
we have too
There's
much in the trunk. Okay, Dave, I got it. You put me in the back. You put me in the back seat, and you drive. You drive around the neighborhood
I'm not gonna drive. You
looking
know
for the
why?
bad guys.
Because
Just
I'm
keep
a
me in the back.
farmer, Mike.
Dave, what do you grow? You got crops?
Edibles, Mike.
Dave, you grow edibles? Did you grow these brownies, Dave?
I'm gonna climb a tree right now.
You gonna climb a tree?
I'm gonna climb a tree.
Well, how am I gonna get out of the back seat if you climb a tree?
You're a
If you need-
farmer,
what
Mike.
If you need help,
Think about it.
if you need help in the tree and I'm in the back, how am I gonna get out?
Ask the horse.
I'm gonna have to call for backup. What am I gonna say?
Tell him I climbed a tree, Mike.
Dispatch. I'm out here with a horse and my partner's in a tree. Could use a couple other units. I'm bring a key because I'm in the back.
Winfrey!
I'm in the back seat. I need some help.
My partner locked himself in the back seat. He's got the windows up. I think he's overheating. Hey.
Hey, now we're Canadians eating edibles, eh?
Hey.
Oh,
He's a
Dave.
hoser.
Oh, Dave.
Oh, Mike's a hoser.
So, are we gonna get high after we?
Mr. Biden, come on down here. Help me, Jesus! Help me, Jewish God!
Help me, Jewish God!
Help me, Tom Cruise!
This
imagine-
is going downhill fast. I think it'd be a great time to go to commercial break myself.
Can you imagine
help me,
listening to
Oprah
this
Winfrey!
while we were high on patrol?
Underpaid producer, you are underpaid.
You
That was-
you deserve a raise.
You know what?
Good.
That
Yeah,
was,
I was happy with that. I
that
was like,
was,
I'm gonna
that was
raise
Joe
this.
Rogan caliber.
That was.
Fucking
We're
Joe
coming for you, Joe Rogan.
Son of a bitch.
We will all smoke weed
Stepping
and then
my game
grapple.
up.
Oh, I will grapple you.
We will
on the
smoke
weed.
weed.
What?
And we
Smoke
will
weed
grapple.
and go in the hyperbolic. What does he go in? Those.
Hyper-
What are they called? Those hyperbolic
Engage in the
chambers
devil's lettuce, and I will.
I don't know.
where you float in like the salt water. That's
Oh,
like
yeah,
the
that's right.
temperature of your body.
Oh yeah, I don't
It just
know.
feels
that
like
was
you're
in
floating
Altered
in
States.
space.
Was that in Altered States? Also.
But I know that that's what Joe Rogan
little
says that he does. Is he like gets high and then he goes in there.
Ooh, that was in Stranger Things. First series, last couple episodes. Or
Yeah, it
that
was.
Yeah, but I think it was in Altered States too, where he went into that bit. It doesn't matter. Why are we talking
Doesn't
about
matter.
that? We're high right now.
We're
My
high.
God,
We're supposed to
so
be high right now.
High on life.
Hi, I'll drink to that.
Edibles and high life.
All right, here's the edibles and patrol.
Also, wait, I have a question. That this might be taken out. This might be
we are,
taken out of the
let's
podcast.
be very clear, we're not high.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
I don't know if this
I'm
is going to be
sorry,
taken
my
out of the
bosses-
podcast, but is like acids? Is it like on squares? Is it like squares that you put on your tongue?
I have seen it.
They're tablets, right? I don't. Honestly, I'm pretty.
Because
fucking
I'm
so-
I'm like
Okay.
90% sure that
I'm
I
high
witnessed
right now.
a drug.
He's
that-
like-
that I witnessed a drug deal go down at my local 7-Eleven. Not at the one that you're thinking of, but one further down, closer to my house.
Oh, you absolutely could have.
And it was with the cashier.
There's not one closer to your house than the one that
with
I'm
the
thinking of, is there?
cashier.
It's past a Little Caesars.
Did you say with the
more
cashier?
Yeah, with the cashier. And he was saying,
Sure, it wasn't a lotto ticket, like a scratch off.
no, 10 square. I heard him say you owe me $10 for each square that you gave me, and they were both.
It's probably Super Bowl
Super
squares.
Bowl squares.
But they
Bro.
seem. But they. I don't
No,
know, man.
It's like they seem really small, but
it's
they had
Super Bowl
numbers.
season.
Yeah,
it's
I don't know,
squares,
dude.
bro.
They
No.
didn't-
They don't call.
What are you
They
talking
don't-
about?
but
There,
wait,
there was
that's the
not
perfect
anything
ploy,
there.
though, Mike.
There was not. They weren't giving each other anything.
Right.
No,
that
you
makes
won't-
even
you
more
don't.
sense. You wouldn't give anything.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Okay,
give
I'm
anything.
just saying. I thought I witnessed a drug deal
Wow.
go down. I was like,
God.
what the
Now,
heck?
at least I know you've never done
Oh,
acid.
that is so cute. Oh my God, that's
yes.
awesome.
Usually, they're actually.
tablets, little.
Well,
like, real,
that
like,
could be like ecstasy.
Because I
Yeah,
thought they like
tablet.
melted on your tongue or something.
They do. There's the LSD or acid will
that's
come
so
on these little pieces of paper.
So it's like one
You
of
have the
those
best
soaked
son
up.
one of those
ever.
mint gas X's that you that you
yes,
take
it's
like,
like that. Only very, very tiny, and you would put it
I
on
like
your tongue.
I like how the closest thing that I can relate to acid is a gas, X.
X, yeah. Dude,
Okay.
you know what? Wait, that was awesome.
Yes.
Good for you,
Good for you, buddy.
dude. You have
confuse
no idea
Super-
how good that is.
Super Bowl squares with hard narcotics.
God, that's so good. I like it.
Good job, buddy. I'm glad I raised you right. Okay. So when we retire and weed's legal,
Because my
are
daughter's
we smoking
so
it?
high right now.
Are we smoking it together?
No. But we are going to do edibles. I just don't. I don't smoke cigarettes or.
Yeah. So
So-
edibles, though.
I know a guy.
We will
So
make our
will-
saints
Yeah,
make us edibles.
I know
know-
a guy. He can help.
You know what was weird though?
Oh my
This
God.
is off topic, but when I
Oh, that's
went-
weird for this show.
Just, come on, you know
this
what?
show
All
never
right.
goes off
No,
topic.
I want to know.
Let me talk, okay? I sit behind this computer the whole day, and I just want to
I
say
like
one
it.
thing. All right. Anyways,
I want to hear it.
so when I went to Amsterdam when I was in Europe,
Oh, you do not.
each corner,
Earmuffs, Mike.
Here we go.
each corner,
Red light district.
each corner had like
X-rated starting now.
each
He's like-
corner was.
Earmuffs.
Listen, they
I
called a
banged
place where
this
they.
I banged her. I banged her, and I don't know what that means because you're supposed to push her. I don't know. And I paid
Anyways.
$5 to do it, and I banged her.
No,
Hey,
I
Dad, did
I
you know
actually,
you can pay to kiss women in Amsterdam? It's weird. I did it. but
Actually,
weird.
I did not go. I didn't even go near the red light district. I didn't go near that. Anyways,
You sound like a homeless
I know,
man
I know.
in front of that 7-Eleven.
I do that with my wife, but I can actually do better than that.
Oh,
I'm not going to right now, but I can do
thank you.
way. I
Anyways.
can actually do way better than that.
anyways, so each different shop like had it was like they were called coffee shops, but they had like a space or no space between them, and that's how you knew that they would sell weed. And I remember like you would see teenagers going in there.
Yeah, but that's
like
not.
it was just so weird. It was like different to see.
But even in Amsterdam, I think if I'm not mistaken, and I know you weren't there like
I was there for
long-
like
Yeah.
3-4 days.
right, but like I think that in the end, like for that, it's drugs are still kind of looked down upon as far as like the consumption, but they're legal, and so like it's accepted. But like the hard drugs, it's like God, son of a gun, but like weed is not as big of a deal, obviously, but.
That's a whole other episode too. We've come up with like 4 episode ideas in this episode.
Okay.
Legalizing narcotics versus
I like
not.
your style.
This is what Dave sounds like.
Not to be racist or anything, but Asian people.
So
I told you I can do better than that.
I'm on fire today.
You are on
Guys,
fire.
He
Man,
is
you
not bad. Why
you-
doesn't he do this?
This should be a regular thing in the news.
It's
I
super
know,
difficult, but
and
you know
he should have thrown the Gary
It's
Canoe
super
thing out
difficult?
it is super because I got to search it up and I got to switch
No,
between your angles.
You know,
It'd be
you know
easier
the,
if I had
you know
two
the effing
monitors.
problem is you actually have to pay attention to what we're saying. That's your
That's
freaking
true.
problem.
That's
That's
true.
your
But
problem.
now that I have a mic, I have power.
See, well then use
And with
it.
great power comes
Yeah,
an
well, use it-
underpaid producer.
Good call. Again, he's really.
I wonder if
sharp
our
on
listeners
this.
really can distinguish our voices now because he does sound a lot like me.
God dang it, son of a bitch.
I sound like I have a deeper voice than him. because Mike's balls haven't dropped yet. If you didn't know.
Dude, he is on fire
Man.
today.
I
You know-
can't even fault you for that one.
You know
That
what?
was-
He's
that's
spitting
good.
them out. He's
fire.
spitting rhymes.
He's fire.
His rhymes
This
are on
producer
fire
is
right
fire.
now. His rhymes are fire.
Okay, how about we jump right from the opposite of getting high on patrol, which we don't advocate, for the record, but I'd love
Right.
to do.
But
Off
not
the record.
advocated.
But not
and I won't
advocated.
do it
We won't do it.
unless it's my last day ever working.
Yes.
But I won't do it then.
Okay, but we're gonna switch gears.
Oh,
What just happened? What are you
oh
doing?
my good lord!
What are you doing over
Wait,
there?
there's
Get something.
there's like
What's happening?
holy moly, bajoli.
The space in here is confined.
Guacamole.
Oh. We shouldn't laugh.
This came in mail time for me, so
Did it really?
it did. Somebody
Yes, it
sent
did.
this to me.
You had a really good response
You
to that, by the way.
serious?
What did I say?
Your response, you were like, I'm sure that we would disagree on some things about this book, but I'm glad that you sent me something that you feel.
I thanked them
yeah,
for
I was
thinking of me, like, hey, this is your
Yeah.
thing, and you wanna
Wait,
share it
wait,
with
wait.
me.
Did you bring up like that we were going to be talking about?
No, somebody just sent this to me from Utah, of course, stereotypical, cliche.
Right.
But they sent it to me, I think, legitimately, and I said,
And
hey,
if you can't see it, it's the Book of Mormon.
the Book of Mormon, right? So
It's labeled another testament.
another testament
of Jesus
Christ.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
So I said, hey, thank you for sending it to me. I disagree with virtually everything in here.
Right.
But I appreciate the fact that you would take the time to want to share what you believe with me. So
Absolutely.
that's fine. Thank you.
Yeah.
This flips the script immediately and dramatically right now.
It really does.
Into we waited.
Lord.
We waited in. Yes, exactly. We
I didn't even think about that.
Have you held
we-
it up for the camera yet?
we what?
Did you hold it up for the camera yet?
Oh no, the Book of Mormon.
Book of Mormon. Yeah.
We
are not Mormons.
We are not Mormons, and one wife is enough.
You're telling me you don't have special underwear
Is
on
it?
right now?
I don't.
Is
No
it?
underwear. Is it though?
I'm going to have to ask my wife about that.
Hey, you just said no underwear? All right.
I have a
No
couple
underwear.
others in mind, so I'm not sure if this is a bad thing right now.
Terrible.
You know what? Do you mind if I borrow this for just?
It's all yours.
Thanks, bud.
So we.
Oh my God! Oh my Mormon!
Oh my Mormon.
Oh my Mormon God!
So help me, Mormon God.
Now-
the whole thing is this: we on our politics episode, we barely touched on anything. Honestly,
Oh my God! I
right?
loved it. I loved
Yeah.
and the response was really
It
funny.
was good. Like, hey,
It was actually okay. So sometimes you have to gauge things by the likes and the dislikes.
I don't because I don't care. But
Well, no. Meaning, like,
I care a lot. Please
Meaning
keep liking
if
our
you-
videos
if-
or else I'll be out
if-
of a job.
if you had 5 likes and 3,000 dislikes, you would go, "Oh, okay, maybe it just wasn't quite." Because the comments will always more than likely be like people who are like, whoever's the most vocal, right?
Yeah.
So it's very easy to people go, I liked it. I didn't really think about it, and so
Yeah.
which is fine, but there was actually a lot of positive feedback on
people
that, which is
appreciated
good.
how we approached the topic.
Well, and of course you're always going to have people who say, well, obviously you guys, and we even
talk about it.
we even had, well, yeah, and I get that, that's fine. But we even had people who were like, well, I know how you're gonna well, I know what you're gonna think about this, even though I haven't seen it yet, and you're like, wait, what?
What?
And it was actually not what the person probably thought.
Right. Yeah.
So
to YouTube.
I'm hoping that we can do more of that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how, and again, as far as religion, I think there's a lot more to be said about that.
Oh, sure. I mean, I don't want to force. I like sort of with our flow of how we're doing things. Like in this episode, we come up with, oh, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this.
Yeah.
Like just let it be natural, because I think that lets the listener, viewer, go along for the journey, like
Yeah.
with us.
And
you know?
keeping in mind, we decided a few weeks ago, we're like, let's do one on religion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
So
And that was the last time we literally talked about
yes,
it.
until I
Not
sprang the
kidding
Book
you.
of Mormon on you.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. Until literally this moment.
Until tonight.
Right now.
Because I thought, you know what? What would be when I saw the in the news? When I knew I was going to do that segment.
And again, well done. God, he is on
he
fire.
was on
man.
fire.
He is.
I saw, what would be a better follow-up to acting high on patrol than talking about religion,
Then not acting high
than being completely stone cold, not high,
and pure as the driven snow.
as the, ooh, man, that's a good use of the word driven. Uncommon and intelligent. Thank you, sir.
Thanks. You know what it's not? Leaky.
Yeah, let's not talk about words we don't like. That's
Yeah,
another
right.
topic.
Okay.
So I have no plans other than, here's what I'll preface this. You and I actually met in the context of religion.
Yes, we did.
I'd say that, I guess.
Yeah.
So both of us would have had a lot of background or no background coming into that, you know, whatever we brought with us into that. And then we were at the same church for a while. Then that sort of became a different thing. And then we haven't been at the same church in forever. 10 years. Forever.
I have to pee. Can we pee?
Can we take a
pee
break?
real quick?
What
Can
do we
we
do
take a
left?
quick break?
Okay, you're not going to
wait.
notice the break.
Wait. You know why you won't notice? Ready? Ready?
Hold on just 1 second.
Yeah, oh, son of a
Hold on.
bee stinger.
What's happening?
You had to keep the beast chained up like a slave. They said
Do you get
so
it?
forever.
Forever. I love the sound effects.
How are you not doing this
How
beforehand?
do we not pay you enough
Oh
money?
my God! Well, because this is the first we're seeing of his actual
You have
potential.
really stepped up your game.
Yeah, well, I was actually planning on for Christmas. If you would have got me that Stream Deck that I asked for, I could have done this with just the push of a
This is the
button.
second time that's
But yeah, you know what? Not happening.
Oh my goodness.
Just transition with that. Just transition.
We're going to
Okay.
take a station identification break.
Let me just pee real quick. Oh my God!
We've been going for 52 minutes. And we're back. How do you do that? What does he do?
I don't know because he's not paying attention right now. Oh, I'm just texting
I'm YouTube commenting.
on the latest video.
On my helicopter tour video.
Hey, go and read the dumbest comment on there. If there's a dumb comment.
What's
The
more
dumb
bullet?
comment? The dumbest
Yeah, is
comment
there
on
a-
my latest YouTube video?
Yeah.
It is...
You know what? Screw that.
Oh. Oh, wait. I unpinned it because
Why?
somebody said you flew over a sacred site, Ohio State University. So I pinned that to like have the comments there. But I can go find the other one that I had a bunch of comments on, unless they deleted it because
They probably got piled on pretty hard.
they got piled on very hard.
Oh, really? Yeah, and for no
That's the
reason,
best
right?
part about pinning comments. People usually
why I
pin
do it.
comments like on other channels of like positivity and stuff.
No,
with
I
their
always
own
pin the
comment.
negative.
But no, we pin the negative ones, just to call them out on their bull crap.
Yeah, but Ohio State, we already know that's bullcrap. So
I think his username on YouTube was Dave, seriously just Dave, and I said more like dumb, seriously just dumb. That was my
Clever.
response.
all right.
And
Clever.
he got piled on. If that comment is here, it is buried in here, and I don't see it right now. But I would imagine,
Wow,
because there was a lot of comments to it in response to him, I would guess he deleted it.
Whoa!
Oh, that's pretty sweet, though.
Whoa!
Hey, I like the fact that you're embracing your fear, General Mantis on the left shoulder of Dave the Cop.
I can't move right now.
Okay, so I thought of a
plastic, Dave.
I thought of a good idea. What would be awesome for an episode?
Wait.
Since Dave already has so many tattoos.
You're cute.
Tattoo of a praying mantis, General Mantis.
You should do that, Dave. Hey, listen.
Wouldn't that
there's
be
another video.
sick?
Did you like Leah's video
Yes.
idea?
That would be so
My
awesome.
kids pick out my first tattoo. I have no idea.
Oh.
I don't even see it until after it's done.
I
Brooke said we should make
If-
you get one in your armpit.
No. That's why I
not do the don't
I
do
asked
the
about-
lady.
I
thing.
asked about location because that's the thing. Like,
Where would you want it? Where would you want it?
People did that.
And would you want
on
it to be
midnight when
kind
I
of
was
serious, or would you want
I
it
don't
to be?
listen. I know in my head the basics of a couple of tattoos. I've never had a tattoo of what I would want to get, and I would say that I would put one on my shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Left shoulder?
Left shoulder, probably. I might do one on the left shoulder and something else on my right shoulder.
Uh-huh.
I have two things in mind that I feel like I would be completely comfortable with on my body for the rest of my life, right?
See, I think it'd be sweet
What
to
is
have
it?
a
Wait,
sleeve.
now I have to know.
No, I'm not
Son
gonna
of a
tell you.
bee stinger. Well, how about this then? If people, because I can't do it myself, if people were to want something like that on my body,
Yeah.
okay.
They're going to pay for it.
If they want to pay for it, I will 100% absolutely.
General
We could do
Mantis.
it as a fundraiser.
I would absolutely that would
A Humanizing the Badge fundraiser.
that would be great.
Right?
I would totally
we
do
could
that.
we could
A
go
praying
live.
mantis with a Glock in its hand.
However they want it.
That's
don't
how
care.
I
That'd be
want
awesome.
it. Okay. So then you get the tattoo at the same time as we would make a video of them going
could
to
he have
pick
like a
out the
cigar hanging out of his mouth or something?
Yes.
that'd
whatever,
be sick.
whatever you want. Honestly, if this is for charity, honestly, if it's for charity, I would put pretty much anything on my body.
anything.
As far as
I want the mantis.
No.
I want
no,
General
no, as far
Mantis.
as General Mantis.
General
as
Mantis.
You
far as
deserve.
General, no, I'm
you
saying as far
deserve
as General Mantis.
General Mantis on your body.
Yeah, and they'd have to help pick out a location that's still like I want it to be accessible to people for
Yeah.
people to see.
Okay.
for sure.
So you're going to do that,
Not just on a
and
stupid
I-
location
I
that they can't-
100%.
people
I
can't
already
see.
agreed. I already said I would do it. That
Okay.
Let them pick out. I just give them a budget, cheap, small, right? $150, $200, like something
or
something simple.
Hey, maybe if we get the right place, they'll do it. If we
Maybe they would
advertise or
because we're
whatever,
going to
for
say, hey,
sure.
the money that we raised to get these tattoos is going to go to Humanizing the Badge. I think
Yeah.
we could actually make it a fundraiser. I'm in, and
Okay.
I'm not even going to have a say as to what my tattoo is.
You aren't, but
My
I
kids-
will. Well, we already know what mine would be, but your kids will have a say.
My kids are going to have a say.
Are we going to have them done at the same time?
Yes, we will go. We'll get tattooed.
I will do it. Absolutely.
And I've never had a tattoo, so that'll be a whole new experience. And I don't even know what's going to happen. I don't even know what's going to go on my body.
I like your style.
That's scary.
Well, let me say this because,
But I will put it-
I know we've only gone.
Where's
over
the least? Where's
6
the least
hours.
painful?
I'm not telling you, Mike.
I need to know.
Hey,
This is
I won't
important.
tell you. You're-
Buttocks?
You're looking at your son as if he knows.
Anybody know?
Yeah, I do.
I'd like to know, please. Hey, listen,
let me
you
tell
should
you
do me
this.
this as a favor.
Okay, you're right. Okay, I get it. I
as a
get it.
bro-
Don't say it. Don't say
I
anything.
searched up least
Say
as
nothing.
a brover.
Listen,
Say
I
nothing.
searched up. I
Say
searched
nothing.
up least painful.
I get it.
Let's see if it agrees.
I
with
searched
what
up
Dave
least
says.
painful, and it, literally first thing that popped up, places for a tattoo.
Yeah, what
Finger is one of the least.
I'm not doing it on my
painful.
finger.
No.
Outer shoulder.
That's
Mike,
where I want a
Can
tattoo.
can I say this?
Please.
Because you helped me out. You did help me out.
I did.
Yeah, you did. On Facebook, you helped me out.
Oh, I
you were gonna
did.
make something public.
I did.
Yep, and I'm going to help you out. And I don't.
Thank
I
you.
didn't even have to bring it up, but I want
Thank
to
you.
help you.
That roast would have been severe, by the way.
Yeah.
Thigh
Although
tattoos.
you would have no right doing it.
I would.
You would have no right doing it.
100% right. It was a pinned post in the group.
It was a text that I sent to you, so you would have had no right to do that. But I appreciate that you didn't, because even though you didn't have a right, you still could have done it. I still could have done it.
Yes.
So I will tell you this, and this is gospel. Anywhere you can pinch on your body that's not sensitive, no problem. But when you start getting to sensitive parts on your skin,
I'm going to have to go home and pinch myself everywhere.
ouch, fucking hurts, ouch. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah. Oh, not so bad. That's not so bad. Not so bad. Ooh, ow. Ugh, that's not so good. Not so good.
Oh, good strategy.
It's a strategy.
I
mean, obviously, I didn't follow it. I'm just saying it's a strategy. If you really are looking for a place I can help you with that.
Well,
and again, I would say shoulder anyway because first of all, let's be honest. A shoulder is a place where you can cover it or you can show it. It's up to you, and it really is not.
Well,
it's
I
not
don't know
a place that's going to hurt.
Listen, I don't know if my kids are going to pick something that I would actually like, or if they're going to pick something that's like crazy, like Goofy from Disney Channel or something. You know, like
I'm going to say that
I
your
don't
kids,
know.
your kids, will make the right decision.
But-
I really honestly think
but it would
that.
make for good TV if it's something ridiculous.
Besides your older daughter, she will do something so crazy.
Okay,
Right.
she came upstairs to my room and interrupted me while I was editing.
Really?
And
Just
was-
to do this? Just
And
to,
was like, what should we make Dad get a tattoo of?
oh my God! See, she already wants something.
And then I was
crazy.
saying like, I said, well, should we do something like funny and like
And
kind
then
of crazy?
She hits you.
And then she goes, well, I want to, but then I know that Mom wouldn't let it happen.
Oh,
No, Mom would.
She said that she would want Mom to like it.
your mom is
Listen,
a saint. Your mom is
we're
a
not
saint.
talking about a neck tattoo, right? Like that's why
No,
I asked
no.
about placement.
I said we should put it on your
still.
butt cheek, your right
No,
buttocks.
no,
your
it should
right
be on the shoulder.
buttock.
And I'm not kidding. I really mean that.
Yeah,
Like,
we agreed.
get it on
We
the
came to
shoulder.
the agreement of a shoulder
It has to
tattoo.
be on the shoulder.
Well, no,
I would say that it
didn't
should be
agree
something-
to placement yet. If I would say like, okay, I'll put it on my buttock,
Wait,
on my butt,
right now, right here.
then you could pick something funny.
Right now, right here. If this could change one life, right? If it could change one life, would you care where it goes, where it gets put on? If it could change one life.
If it could change a life,
Yep.
I don't even know what that means.
I think you know exactly what it means, Michael. And that leads us to other things. Right? If this could change, so if this donation, if a donation could mean the difference between changing someone's life, would you get it anywhere? It doesn't matter.
Would you?
I would.
you?
Absolutely.
Well, it's going to be on film.
Absolutely.
Hey, Dave.
Absolutely.
That was so inspirational.
Slow clap.
Thank you. I love the underpaid producer.
He's on fire today.
I still love him.
I get what you're saying, but the whole thing's gonna be a video. No matter what I get, no matter where I get. If people want to laugh at me from getting like a butterfly tattoo on my right buttock,
Yeah.
then it is what it is. And if it raises money for a good cause,
I
I'll always look back and
I
laugh.
still think it should be on the shoulder.
But you're right. My wife would have to look at
and
the butterfly
again,
of the on
you
the,
know,
on
you
the
have
right buttock.
So you have people saying, look, I don't want people to think it's, I don't want your wife to go, this is ridiculous. I hate it. I
Wonder how much money I could
I
make
never
if I just
want to
did like
be
I'll
with
put
him
your,
again.
I'll put your business name on my forehead.
I only want to be
1
with
million.
Dave the rest
Would I
of
do
my
that for
life.
Would you do that for $75,000?
No.
No.
You wouldn't put a business name
On my forehead? No.
On
I
your
look like a
forehead.
moron.
I put it on my
75. You know how much Bitcoin you could buy with that?
I do not think we want to go there right now. There is a problem with the market on that. I don't.
No,
think
there's
we wanna
not.
go
It's
there.
coming back, baby. All right, I have.
Well,
I have
now's a
some
good
money
time to buy then.
I have some time. I have
I
some
know,
money
I
tied
know.
up in Bitcoin.
I know you don't have $9,900 and some dollars in yet. I think you're still.
Is
I
it
know
down
I'm
that
down.
low right now?
Yeah.
Ooh, that
hit
hurts.
Just hit. I think today it hit pretty low.
I'm gonna check my Bitcoin wallet right now.
I gotta check mine too.
We're all gonna check it. Oh shite!
Yeah. What's it at?
$8,692.99.
Holy moly, pajoli!
Yep, that's rough. That is rough. Not gonna lie.
Dang, my Ripple investment has gone back down. I've only doubled my.
Yeah, he
original
doubled on
investment.
Ripple.
No,
I hate him.
I got 8 times the amount of money I had. I made like $1,000 off of Ripple.
I put $50 in Litecoin. That's it. That's all I did.
Oh, I've put like 600.
I bought
you.
I bought
that's all I
more.
did.
I
And-
bought
and
more
it's
than
down.
one Litecoin.
We're not even at 50 now, right?
Litecoin?
I'm sorry.
Litecoin went down.
I'm sorry. I don't mean that. I mean,
I gotta check my Litecoin now. I'm checking my Litecoin,
Oh,
everybody.
don't check it. Don't
You
check
want
it.
to
Ooh,
check it.
ow, okay. Yeah, cryptocurrency is not something you want to look
right
at.
now.
Don't-
It's
don't
not.
check
It's
it.
not looking really good right now.
I'll tell you what though, it's gonna rebalance
Stay
out,
away from it.
and it'll be higher.
134.70.
Okay. Let's not talk about cryptocurrency right now.
I know.
And you're to
I know.
blame.
I don't want you to
But
sing it. I want you to play the clip.
That's
You
the pro-
give Ripple and Litecoin and Bitcoin a bad name.
It's like he turned. It's like he literally turned his volume up just to do that.
Yes. Okay.
Shut through the
How long?
heart.
How long has this episode been going? And we are still
know.
not to the core
Like
topic.
an hour.
Oh my goodness, dude.
What is wrong with us?
We're in this all night. I'm not leaving till 7.
We're not
a.m.
leaving until we get this done. Okay.
Okay.
We met in the context of religion.
Yep. And a matter of fact, you were doing some assistant pastoring at the time, and you were one of the first people that ever came up to me. You're like, "Hey, there's a jackass.
Hey,
See
this
how much
guy,
money I can get from this guy."
this tatted guy looks like he's got some cash to give to the cause. Yeah,
'Cause you've always been there, Mike.
my main function was musical, playing the guitar, singing.
Okay, stop. Let me take over here. Mike, stop.
That was my main job.
Stop.
I'm describing.
Just A,
I'm describing
A,
it accurately.
A, stop. B, stop. C, Dave, go ahead. So, in the context, Mike is a musical genius as far as I'm concerned, and
Some
I'm
people
not
might
kidding.
call me the songbird of our generation.
From those who have heard
What you
the show.
just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points,
And may God have
And
mercy.
and may God have mercy on
your soul.
Man, you are good at this.
You know,
You've tore
know
down
what?
our team building by
Thank-
saying that you're the
thank-
songbird of our generation.
God.
Thank God.
Thank God,
Yes.
he's now starting to do something with his
Starting
life.
to. He has really filled in the role, hasn't he?
Finally. So let me just say this. Mike he is a musical genius, and I'm not kidding.
That's not true, though. But anyway,
Okay, stop. Okay. So I have my own opinions. We've always, when we were going to that church, I always appreciated it. It was always a great experience. But Mike also filled in as an assistant pastor from time to time, and you actually did some series that were just, in my opinion, were phenomenal. And although at the time, our thought process was very different. Okay, so I had to say that. I'm not trying to stroke your ego because you have none, because you are a fool. But honestly,
And I've been out of that game for a long time.
you
Hold on,
have,
just
you
let
have
me
been.
do something real quick.
Oh my goodness!
Don't overdo the shit now.
Now you have to preface it all.
Called the songbird of my generation.
That one's late though.
I couldn't pull it up fast enough.
I know you. The thing is, you have to have.
I know, but it
you
was just funny.
If you
It
had
was just
gotten
funny.
that thing for Christmas, it
I
wouldn't
would have been
a-
able to do it.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Dad.
Dude, imagine how many drops he's gonna have. I'm buying this thing for you. Like
You
this
have
week.
to. It would probably pay off.
Yes.
No. But I've always
Our,
thought
down,
It's
our
only like
downloads would
$10,000.
that's it.
It's
No
not.
problem,
It's
no
like,
problem.
it's only like 100.
I'm a baller.
But so I have to say, again, I'm trying to switch gears here, but nobody's letting me.
I'm letting you.
I've always thought a lot of Mike regarding this subject. In and even more so as we kind of get into this, I'll probably explain a few more things that I had experienced that Mike was able to help me with. I've always thought Mike was a really good influence in this. So go ahead, you talk.
I don't know what to say. I mean, it's like it's
You're
sort of
an
like
idiot,
You
and
I
I'm
found
not
to be
trying to
an
make you
idiot
feel good.
for
You're
most
an
of my
idiot.
life.
So go ahead.
well, I mean, if politics is a
Taboo.
deep end of the pool,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
religion is the freaking ocean, right?
Right.
So,
No, it's not just the ocean. It is the literal last 600 meters of the ocean,
It's
right? And that's
yeah,
true,
the
right?
Mariana Trench, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it can. There is no way in some brief thing that we could cover it all by any stretch.
And we won't. But again, this is kind of this is one of those things for me where we say, like, what do you guys think? Do you want to hear more?
Yeah,
not want to hear
we,
more.
we could talk about more of our experiences, our thoughts,
And that's really what it is.
or whatever.
right?
We're not here. Certainly, this podcast, while I hope it has impacts on people's lives in some way, we're not here to. This certainly isn't religious radio, per
Right.
se.
We're not that
we-
the Catholic AM station that you.
Yeah.
So
we have our.
commonly hear.
I'm sure we have
like
our
when
opinions.
when you're going up north and you hear like that one Baptist station that just
Yeah.
somehow is still running.
It's just
like,
never
yes,
stops.
never
like,
stops.
And the guy is the same guy. He's
it's the
always
same
going.
guy from 1984.
Yeah.
and he's still talking.
He's still going. It's not old stuff. He's just still
still
going.
going.
And like again, I definitely want to hear more from you, Mike, because again, like I said, I was saying before, but this is not a slight on any religion. We're talking. We're going kind of brushing over this subject because this is kind of what makes us who we are.
Mm-hmm.
And we do not have any intention on poo-pooing. I guess you could say that. Anybody else's religion, because like you said, you received the Book of Mormon in the mail, and you appreciated people for their faith in what they believe. Mm-hmm. It's not what you believe. It's it's different, and so we will all have our differences, just like politics. I would hope that when people listen to this, they can stop listening, awesome, or never listen, or they could go, you know what, I just kind of want to hear them out, or yeah, I agree with these guys. That's fine,
Right.
But either way, just know that this is not something to just kind of push. Well, we're two guys that
we certainly aren't talking about this topic as a form of an agenda.
No, not at all.
This is just like, hey, we should talk about politics and religion because people don't want to talk about politics.
because people freaking hate it.
Yeah.
And I like talking about it.
Yeah.
I don't
And
understand why. I feel like every time I have
know,
a conversation
right?
about politics and religion, I just feel
People
better
shut down.
after the conversation, and
People shut
and people are
down.
like, "No, that's not right. No," and I'm like, well,
It's
can
stupid.
We just,
It's
right.
I'm
stupid.
like, can we just talk
Could you
about
just
it?
have a legitimate conversation, right? Like a real
Right.
dialogue where
I agree.
you can say something that I might disagree with, you might say something that I agree with, but we can actually
Or I might say something you disagree with.
converse
and fine.
and understand
Yeah.
where people are coming from.
I don't
So-
certainly don't. I don't use this, like you said, as an agenda for you to like me better or hate me more.
Right.
I just expect you to know that I'm just a regular guy. I have a. We've said this a million times. I have a family. I am a cop who likes to violate people's rights, especially minorities.
Especially,
and
of
that's
course.
who I am. I like SWAT situations that go horrible.
That go terribly wrong.
So again, it's one of those, and those guys will always pop up, and and again, we will address that. We keep talking about what we want to do with that.
Yes.
But again, this is part of what makes us who we are as human beings, and I think it goes in play with what makes a lot of people who they are, and so why not talk about that?
Absolutely.
Well,
I
we
mean,
just
like,
happen to have the mic here, right?
we mentioned earlier in this podcast, like funerals or whatever else, and I mean, like, cops tend to be, cops tend to not be upset when you mention God.
Right. Yeah,
in a generic way.
Yeah, for sure.
I find, like,
Yeah.
everybody's sort of religious, at least at certain times.
Yeah.
To say you believe in God or that you're a Christian doesn't make you, to use a Christian word, anathema. It doesn't
Ooh,
it doesn't,
wow, Mike.
you're not like, oh, now, I mean, rubber meets the road when you're like, hey, we're all going to the strip club, and you're like, not really
Right, I
interested
would
or
so
whatever.
do
Like,
that. Wait, what?
So, wait, what?
I'm just trying to. I don't. Okay.
So, when sort of like there are, I think, rubber meets road sort of moments that it might push up against, belief meets, the way you live your life, kind of a thing. So there's certain things that, and I by no means at all am claiming that I have moral superiority,
Well-
or or you should look to me as the example of what a Christian life should be, because
Can we start there?
With the Apostle Paul in the New Testament, am completely fine with saying, I am the chief of all sinners. I am a really bad Christian.
And okay, so let's kind of start there. I think that's a good place to start, don't you? Because now there's some people who are that don't believe in any kind of religion at all. There are others that are opposed to religion. There are those that go, well, I'm a Christian, but blah blah blah. There are others that there's the gamut, right?
Right.
When you say that, you're talking about an Apostle Paul who is, okay. Wow, holy shit,
and we're in.
What did I do?
Scuba gears on. We're diving
I know.
down.
What did we do here, right? So let me start out by this, because I do want you to kind of explain who Apostle Paul was. Because that's important. When you say that actually means a lot. That means a lot to it. It should mean a lot to a Christian. So, when we talk about the idea of Christianity, we talk about, there's a lot of people who go, well, my Aunt Edna, she's the Bible thumper, and she is the pedestal of Christianity, right? And so, I have found myself in the past in that bubble, and I am embarrassed but proud to say that I have been Aunt Edna, right? So you have people who in your life go, somebody trying to just shove Christianity down my throat, and who is it? It's usually Aunt Edna. That Aunt Edna that and I don't know how many people have Aunt Edna, but I'm not going to lie, because I was in a conversation with a good friend of mine not that long ago, and he brought up something really good. He goes, Dave, I've been Aunt Edna. I've been, and I was like, damn it, I hate you, because you're right, because I've been there, and I've been the holier than thou. I was trapped in that bubble for a while. So can you explain to me a little bit about what do you think about that, but also maybe first about the Apostle Paul, who he was. And again, guys, if you don't want to listen, I get it. That's cool. But we're talking about the Apostle.
We've given you an hour so far.
Yeah, right. To get the hell out of here, if you know what I mean. But in the end, we're talking about Apostle Paul and this guy in Christianity, in the things that we believe.
He's like varsity team, right?
He is beyond varsity. He's collegiate / he's NFL level,
right?
Center / Christian. So please, could you just real quick if you can.
Well, I suppose historically, right? So Paul is this guy that is a committed Jew. Speaking of Will Ferrell's quote, "Help me, Jewish God.
Help me, Jewish God.
Help me, Jewish God.
Help me, Jewish God."
Paul is this committed Jew, and not only a committed Jew, he is a Pharisee. So he is like, and not only is he a Pharisee, but he is like a Pharisee of the Pharisees. So in other words, not only did he go to college, he went to like Ivy League college, right?
Yeah.
So
he's like the Yale of Judaism.
And not only did he
now.
go to Yale, but he got like all A's, right?
Yeah.
So like this is, when it came to religion, as it were, Paul is the man. Right, and so at some point he is, by his own admission, consenting to the death of Christians. Like he's stoked.
It's funny that you say stoked. Not so much stoked, more so that he held the coats.
Right, he was like, yeah, what can I do to participate in this? Right.
Yeah.
Although cheering on of the death of Christians.
Coward enough not to, although maybe he didn't have the stature at the time to actually commit to the murders of Christians.
Certainly complicit.
But so much more complicit than like, hey, let me hold your coats. Like I'm a servant of what you do.
Right.
Let me hold the coats. of the guys who are doing it right now, so that when they get back and they get all scrubbed up, they get cleaned up from the things that they've done. They can put their coats on with dry arms after they've wiped off clean. They can put their coats back on and walk home and talk to their wives, have dinner, and not smell like blood. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, literally, like, put it in perspective of what it is. Right?
It wasn't just some like convenience. It wasn't a coat check.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't that. And then so this Saul, who is consenting to the death of Christians,
Saul
becomes
same.
Yeah,
person,
later on known as Paul, and he has this conversion experience and becomes a Christian. That's the Reader's Digest version,
right?
And
well,
there's
damn it, Mike, we can go all day.
Yeah, we
but
could
again,
go all day.
I think this is important. What happens to him to make him do that? Just real quick, again.
Right, so he's riding along, and God appears, and the reason this story is
weird shit
is because
weird.
Here I am saying the Book of Mormon is jacked up, right? Because this is the picture that was sent in the mail with it.
I'll get you. There you go.
Is a picture of Joseph Smith being approached, quote unquote, by angels of God,
right,
and giving him this New Testament,
right,
another testament, like new information, right? So it's sort of like odd to say Paul has an experience where God meets him. Like, what's the difference?
Yeah.
So
different.
We're so deep in already.
I know.
So
I
what's
know.
the difference between
We're in it now, though.
Paul's experience versus Joseph Smith's experience? Why would you devalue Joseph Smith's versus Paul's?
That's up to you.
Gosh.
Honestly, that is completely up to the individual.
There is a lot of things to talk about.
There is a lot of things to talk about.
But for Paul specifically, he encounters God in the New Testament. You can read the story in the book of Acts, which is the 5th book in the New Testament.
Oh my God, you're so learned.
I know.
Like a learned doctor.
This is a
like
house of learned theologians. If you read that, you'll hear this story, and Paul is basically knocked off of a horse. He's riding along. He's knocked down, and God basically says, "Why are you fighting against me?" And he has this experience. He's blinded, literally blinded.
But weirdly enough, again, he is not one of the people that has actually killed anybody.
Right.
What the hell, God? Seriously, dude, like, get one of the most important people. What the hell, man?
Yes.
I mean, seriously, like, it's, again, very strange, right? Totally get it. Anyway, sorry. It's just a weird experience. Right?
Yeah, so he's blind. Like, he literally can't see. And actually, we don't even know, like, later on in Paul's life, he actually is talking about this eye problem that he has.
Yeah.
This could have been something that God let him see enough, but basically after that point, he had this problem physically with his eyes that never went away. And he converts immediately to the Christian faith.
Yeah.
And he writes most of the books in the New Testament. I mean, Paul became essentially, for lack of a better word, the man when it came to New Testament Christianity. So you have the Gospels.
Oh, no doubt.
And then you have Paul, who basically wrote everything else. I mean, there's a handful of books.
Who took, a back seat to even Paul is regarding
Paul,
the
speaking
writing of it.
Especially for our Catholic our Roman Catholic listeners who are, you've got Peter, a.k.a. the first pope. You've got Paul putting Peter in his place.
Right.
Right.
And that actually literally actually happens.
Literally.
Right? So again, probably going to make a lot of enemies, but that's not our intention. This is just who we are, right? I mean, this is how we
Right. If we're going to have a discussion about religion, if we're going to be honest, we're just going to talk about our experiences
and that
what we
includes
understand.
Christianity as well, right?
you go.
Because
There you
there's a
go.
lot of this also. So
Yeah,
and
and
that
I'll
is
tell
the
you
way it
what,
goes.
and you probably I don't know if you I would bet that you haven't watched his stuff yet, but there's a guy named Tim Keller. He's the pastor of a
I've
church.
listened to Keller several times, but not watched his stuff.
There's a pastor. He's a pastor in New York City, of a Redeemer.
I listen to Osteen, but go ahead.
Oh boy, we've got problems.
That's
Tim
a
Keller,
whole other podcast.
So Tim Keller did talks at Google, and he wrote
Really, he's gotten he's there.
He
now.
wrote a book called The Reason for God. Okay, and I would just challenge anyone listening to this who is a skeptic,
right, or searching, blah, blah, blah.
whatever.
I get it.
Not even. Let's not get it too specific in terms of like Jesus as the specific, but let's just think about God in general,
Like
a personal
an entity,
personal God.
Because I honestly, guys, I haven't read it. I don't
Right,
even
yeah.
know what it's about. Are you talking about like an entity of like a deity?
Well, let's.
in
I
general,
mean,
or
Tim Keller's a Christian pastor,
Right.
So
I do know that,
he's
right.
he's portraying the Christian God. But what I'm saying is like a lot of people struggle with the idea of God in general,
right,
or a lot of people will name a nameless entity.
and that's what I mean.
God,
Like, there's a
right?
deity,
divinity. I'm
Yeah.
actually reading a book right now, Born Again Pagan. Okay, it's a philosophical book. A guy who was an Aristotelian philosopher, and he sort of like realizes like there's life is meaningless without some type of meaning to life, right?
Right.
I mean, it's common sense.
Although, let's be honest, there's a lot of people who are not religious at all who find the meaning of life being the the general welfare of humanity, right? And
Sure.
that's
well,
great. That's
it's-
a great thing, or the earth in general. Like, let's leave this place better than we found it. I think that's
absolutely
awesome,
and
right?
I think that's an awesome common point that I could hold.
You're right, absolutely.
But I would challenge that person to say like, why do you care?
No,
Right?
yeah. No,
so like,
I agree.
I
But-
would find a common point. I could work alongside anybody that said, you know what, we should clean the
let's
park,
be honest.
or we should do whatever. But like, absolutely.
But why do you care?
Why?
But
right?
But
and
could-
then that's the conversation starter.
An answer, and I don't think this is an easy answer. I think it's an answer, and a legitimate answer is, well, I want the place to be better than what I found it, because when my child has siblings and or has kids, and their children have kids, I just want it to be better.
Yeah. And again, I love those moments because that creates an opportunity for that conversation where it's like, why? Why do you want it to be better for them? You know, like, what's the ultimate goal? What's the purpose? What's the whole thing behind it? And that's where.
Why? 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 Why?
What is that from?
Why? Why?
A preacher.
I
Nice.
guess, I'm going to let you continue, but I guess in the end, at some point, you're out of the game, right? I mean, at some point, you're completely out of the game. You could say, I want it to be better for my children's children. But in the end, you're out of the game at some point. And so, do you care that much? Like, do you honestly care that much? And some people do.
Right.
There
There's
are some people
yeah.
that do. There's no doubt about it. There
Yeah,
are people
absolutely.
that do. They want this world to be better than what they found it. The problem with humanity is what?
Well, they're messed up.
We're pretty screwed up, right? I
We're
mean, there's-
pretty screwed up.
It's like saying that at some point, someday,
Christianity would call that sin.
right? Well, and again, we're kind of there, right? So at some point, somebody's going to say, well, we're looking towards world peace, right? I mean, that's really. But in the end, do you believe it?
We are the world, right? We are the world.
Right, and do you believe it?
We are
And-
the
and-
children.
and
we are
first,
the ones who make a brighter
an
day. So
amaz-
let's start giving.
A
Holy cow!
Mike,
I know the words of that.
B, wait, two things. A, you have a better voice than that. B, do you really care? So,
before I forget, I would just, again, going back to Tim Keller, the reason for God.
yeah.
Even
wait. In honor of Dave's Band-Aid whiskey over there.
Oh, doesn't it smell like a Band-Aid in the room?
Oh my God.
I am stuck on Band-Aid brand. His Band-Aid stuck on me.
There you go.
Oh, you could do the Band-Aid Christmas song.
Wait, there's
Band-Aid.
a Band-Aid Christmas song?
Well, it's Band-Aid, right?
What? That is Band-Aid.
Band-Aid
There's
Christmas
a Christmas song?
What? Dave looks
I don't
upset.
want to talk to you guys right now.
Dave looks upset.
Hold on a second.
He's gonna find it, but
I'll search
No,
it up.
but
I'll
go
search
ahead.
it up.
guys,
Don't worry.
you should look up Tim Keller's Reason for God, or look up online on YouTube.
If you're a skeptic.
If you're a skeptic,
We've
if
been
you're
going for
wondering
like
what we're talking
1
about,
hour 30 minutes.
Okay.
maybe.
It's all right.
check up his Google talk on skeptics, and any of his talks on the reason for God.
There he goes talking about God again and the areas where I can find him.
Is it
1 hour,
I don't know if it's this
65
video.
minutes.
Hold on. Oh, there's an ad.
Do they
Of
know it's
course.
Christmas time? That's Band-Aid.
What?
Oh my
Hold
good
on.
Lord.
Is it this? Let's just see.
Good Lord Jesus. PTL, praise the Lord.
PTL.
This? Really?
Yes, thank you.
That's Band-Aid?
It's Band-Aid. It's a Band-Aid project. Is it not? Michael, tell me.
I have no idea what that
Wow.
was.
Are you serious?
I can't play it for too long because
Hey,
of copyright reasons.
No, I
so.
get that. All you commenters, roast Mike. But not for that.
I bet you it's a big thing. For the real content, skip to
you go-
For the real content.
What?
Wait a second.
I don't know.
that.
We
need
so
to put-
let me
Hold on.
bef-
I'm
you know-
interrupting you. I'm interrupting you. We need to put all of those things that are on that button into a sound board
I know
that we
we-
can press
we-
to put that.
yeah,
I know.
we're already
I'm
yes.
sorry. That would just be funny.
I know.
I agree. I
Okay.
agree. We could. Okay, so I don't want this to turn into to round out because it's so deep.
It is.
because
It-
we'll
we're
never
not even
get to
close.
it.
We're not even close right now.
This is just like the politics episode. This is us just sort of like we more than waited out. We kind of like jumped into this one.
Scratching the surface.
Yeah, and
Not even.
people can say, "Hey, we want to." Yeah, this is kind of a cool topic to explore. Hey, never say this again. This is where the like-dislike thing will come in. Like we'll see, but
People don't have
this part
they
won't
don't
even
ha-
be
a
on
lot
YouTube.
of people don't have a stamina. Oh, okay. No,
Yeah.
that's good then. If that's-
The fake getting high part will be on YouTube.
Oh, I
but
love that part. I
it
want
was
to
a
get
good-
high.
It was a good time.
When I retire
When
and
we
it's
retire,
legal.
and it's legal. But what I would like to know is where are you at right now? Because, like I said, we
God.
haven't.
Good Lord.
We
Oh,
haven't. We haven't been at the same church. You know, there was a period of
God.
time where we were, right, and now we're not. So I have a whole lot of stuff that's gone on in my life, perspective-wise, religiously, in my faith, since the
God,
time
Mike.
that we shared the same church. So now that we don't, there's a whole lot of stuff we could talk about.
Okay.
But maybe that interests our listeners, maybe it doesn't. Either way, I would love to know where are you at right now with all that stuff?
Can I tell you where I'm at? Do
Yes.
we have the time for it?
Stop and pause. I gotta pee. Yes. Our listens did not. Yeah, that was a.
It was
It's a heavy pour.
It was a heavy pour. There was no doubt. I was like, we're gonna be here a while. It's like, guys, we cannot
It's
stay here.
quarter
that
to
far.
midnight.
I'm like,
it's
damn
almost
it.
midnight. I gotta go home. Hey, you want to play duos?
Jacob's waiting for me to get home and play.
You want to play squads?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So,
Losers.
um,
Oh, good Lord.
let me text the Saint. Hold on.
I just want to play stuff.
You know what I wish I would have had?
Are we going right back to this or no?
Just yes.
No, not the Stream Deck thing, but
No.
I'm saying, you know what I wish I would have played earlier? during the what would you do? This is what I wish I would have played. Hold on.
$1 million.
See, he does need those plugs.
Yeah, I wish I would have.
Yeah, well, I'm
'Cause
gonna
what
get
I would
that.
like to
how much
do-
is how much is this thing that you wanted?
$150.
Oh my goodness, dude!
That was it? For that shit? You wouldn't give him shit
But
for
here-
Christmas?
but the
You
thing
gave him
is
fucking
like,
pajamas?
But the thing is like, you can do up to 250
Oh
settings that you
my
can change on.
God.
But you have 15
duh.
buttons.
Praise the Lord Jesus Christ, our Savior.
I could load 15 different sounds to it.
Okay,
Jesus.
okay.
This is in the name of Jesus
only
Christ.
only 15.
Wait, you just said
Yeah, it's like
204 what the fuck was
no,
the
you can
240
adjust. You can adjust settings. Like I could probably set it to where I could switch between your guys' camera angles and stuff. And
Good Lord, I could adjust your mom for less. What the hell, man?
She's a saint. Keep your liver spotted hands off my woman. She's a saint. Hey, okay, so we're back.
You give me the $10,000 or what?
I still want you to be my best man. All right, so
I still love you, Mike.
we're closing in.
Okay, so
This is such a huge topic.
It's huge.
And we're just we're just literally mentioning this.
Wait, ready? Are you ready?
That's the sound of scratching the surface.
Yeah, and it's not even the sound of it.
And
put it up closer to the microphone.
And
Hold
it's
on 1 second.
that is yeah, and that is through a layer of like polyurethane stain
and volcanic ash.
So, but we will end this.
Are you going to end it on my note?
Yes.
Oh my God, I love it.
You're welcome. I want to just I want to
holy
know.
Can I say shit?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
If you've
I
been
love
listening
it.
to yourself on the podcast for the last 21 episodes, then yes, you can say shit.
I am a sailor.
What can I say?
But I'm not.
Full of semen. Like any good submarine. All right, so where are you at?
Wow.
You and
Oh
I
my
haven't.
gosh, Mike, this is
you and I
awesome.
haven't really had
At all.
a
I
significant
have literally
conversation
fucking
in a long time.
Snapchatted you, but I have not talked about Jesus with you in. My God, it's been years.
A long time.
It's been a long time, which is your fault. But
Speaking of
oh great,
being a sailor,
Gotta have me and my boats and hoes.
oh yeah.
So many people listening to this have got to be like,
Oh my God, what is
are
this
they
actually about?
Christians or not?
Or are they heathens? Which one is it?
or is Step Brothers just a really good movie?
How are you?
Good call.
I feel like this is a Jim Gaffigan moment. How are you Jesus lovers, but you like boats and hoes?
Hot pockets.
So, Jim Gaffigan, if you're listening, we'd love to have you on the show.
Yeah, just saying.
You're not listening, though.
No, he's not, but he will.
If
Wow.
anybody
Calm
knows,
down.
if anybody
Actually-
knows Jim Gaffigan, let him know about the podcast. please.
I'm just saying. No big deal. Please. It's going to save us. We're sinking ship. Wow. Actually, it means a lot. Like, when you asked that, it's like, it's so weird because I went to a visitation today, and weirdly enough, so that the Detroit officer was killed, and his father was I graduated the academy with him, and it was a big deal. And it's just weird because I saw Glenn, and it was nice to see him, and the whole thing is obviously difficult, but it's weird because if I can kind of reveal myself, and I almost feel like I actually called you after my first shooting. Mm-hmm. And I said, like, there was this weird, a couple weeks beforehand, I had really felt kind of like separated from God, and I was like, God, dude, if you're like, why, like, if you're there, like, just show yourself. I hadn't seen him in a good many years, and it just maybe that was my fault, maybe that was whatever, but what was weird was after the shooting, where you literally take someone's life. He literally, and I know whatever you guys can say whatever you want, but he was like, okay, so what are you gonna do now? And it was like that loud, like, oh, okay, so here I am. So what are you gonna do now? And I remember I know I talked to you about that, and you didn't say a lot about it because you didn't expect to say a lot. It wasn't something that you expected. You listened, and you didn't expect to speak on it. And it was just weird because I was like, oh my God! Like it was weird because I had to accept that that God has some very different plans for me, and so in life, in weirdly enough, not for myself, but for other people who have been going through a lot of pain lately. And myself as well, but I look at like, oh my God, like that was just such a weird time in my life. And that was how long, it was what, 9 years ago almost,
Yeah, a little while ago.
Yet it's like, it's literally like it was yesterday to me. And it was like, man, what do I do with this? Like, if I honestly feel like God was speaking to me, like, what, you haven't heard from me? And so here you go. What are you going to do about it? Like, it's like, what do you do with that? Like, okay, so you killed a guy. So what are you going to do with that? And so like, there's a lot of things to kind of digest with that. And so, which again, is one of those things you kind of have to bear on your own a lot of times, which you understood. And so I look at that with a lot of people nowadays, and I see a lot of people in pain. I like recently there's just been a lot of people in this kind of this weird position of family woes and injury and pain and death.
Well, I don't want to derail what you're saying, but I want to add to it. Like, I think when a lot of people are honest, it's such a tangible part of life is pain and not necessarily despair, because I think there is hope out there, but I'm just saying, like, sitting in those moments of difficulty is part of the human experience. And
Right.
and I think it comes around in these cycles where, oh my goodness, man, like, I went to this funeral for this sergeant friend,
Yeah.
and the guy who sat next to me at the funeral dinner was also a previous sergeant of mine, detective sergeant, and lost his son to a diabetic situation.
Mm-hmm.
His wife died of cancer, and then he just and then I lost one of my former partners at work to cancer.
You lost your brother.
My brother, and then then another guy at the same department,
Yeah.
and then he posted, I saw on Facebook today, he lost another friend of theirs that was fighting cancer in Florida, and his wife, who is now deceased, an aunt or something, another relative of theirs to cancer. And it's like, oh my goodness. And it's just been like, sometimes you feel it's always around us, but sometimes it's just really like weighs on you, like, my God, life is not easy to deal with, And so, like, it's those moments where you're like, it kind of comes and feels more weighty than others, And it's in those moments that people start thinking about religion, right? Where they stand, what they believe.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, you bring up a really good point, because I'm not the typical of that, where I did lose losing my religion, REM style, a long time ago when a friend of mine was killed in a car accident a long time ago, and just kind of whatever, blah blah. Fuck God, fuck that guy, blah blah blah. We die, we go 6 feet in the ground, whatever. It doesn't really matter, because in the end, there was kind of this hole, and it wasn't able to be filled by material things, and so it's interesting because I have now, in my life. I'm in a different place, obviously, but where I have certain friends who it's what is crazy is, let's be honest, everybody goes through this, right? And so we're not the only ones. But there are people who believe in Jesus. There are people who believe in Allah. There are people who believe in Buddha. That experience death and the tragedy of death.
Mm-hmm.
So so I'm not belittling or putting anything else on a pedestal at all, because we all go through that, and so we all handle it in different ways, and I can only go with my experience as to what that means. And so it's tough, because I don't want to, like, there's some things I don't want to talk about, because I feel like I'm going to get like all teary-eyed and misty and bullshit, you know.
Well,
like,
let me ask you
this
this.
is bullshit, you know.
Do you still consider yourself a Christian?
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. So, like, okay, so let me get through this. I know people who are going through a lot of hell, meaning, you know, earthly things that just bring you down.
Yeah.
And there are good Christians that question, why is this happening? And there are good Christians and there are atheists that say, why does this, if there is a just God out there, why does this happen? And they will throw a Bible at the wall, or they will discount everything and anything. And in the end, when I look at it, I ask myself, what is it that I expect? Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I am a true Christian and I believe in some of the things that I remember you saying a long time ago, like, what is it that I expect? I you know, if you are a true Christian, you believe that you are born into sin, and so there are some really fucking hard things that happen in life. It's like somebody who lets you out of a school bus that with blinders on and says, "Hey, you're going to the beach," and you said, "You will remember this," and you say. They say, we're going to the beach. And there's like, no, you are not going to the beach, dude. There is a problem happening. And they're all running towards that cliff of hellfire and brimstone. And they're like, no, we're going to the beach. It's so warm. It's so amazing. I can't believe I'm from Alaska. And so this is amazing and awesome. You're like, dude, I'm telling you, you are heading towards some really horrible stuff. And it's not until they take the blinders off that they see what they're headed to. And I can't speak for people who haven't seen that. Mm-hmm. I can't. I just cannot. I was able to see that, and there are people who never will, and there are people who will get angry because I say this. Because there are people who are angry that will say, well, why have you seen that there aren't? But then again, I think about some of the things that you said, that there are people that are so much smarter than me. There are people that will solve cancer. Someday there is somebody who will solve cancer that may not believe in Jesus Christ, and they will go to hell. And there are people that go, are you out of your mind? I will stone you for that. And you will say, you will do that. So I look at that as like, there are people who will go through complete hell. There are people who go through hell on earth. There's no doubt about it. But keep in mind that there are other people who go through that also, and they want to help you and they want to be with you. And maybe they're Christian, maybe they're not. But God uses people in so many different ways, right?
Yeah.
And so we have to also identify with that. And so sometimes we have to ask ourselves, what is it that we expect from Jesus, from God, from any God?
I guess to wrap this up for this episode, at least.
Oh my God!
And again,
I hope there will be more.
Of course, depending on what the reception is of this, we'll see where this goes. But I'll tell you what, man, there's a lot that I have gone through, or experienced spiritually, or thought through the last decade.
Can I just say this? There's probably a lot that you've gone through in a worldly essence, as far as death, pain, controversy, that kind of stuff, that you could bring to the table just like anybody else.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, absolutely. I would just say that, for me, it comes down to the fact that I feel like ultimately I'm putting things in perspective. And that perspective that I've learned is to bring it back to Paul, who I used to feel like Paul says in the New Testament, like, I'm the chief of all sinners. Like, almost like that was like almost like a fake humility.
Right.
Yeah, I'm the chief of all. I'm learning to identify with Paul and understand that apart from any hint of grace, I'm doomed. Right? Like, I'm messed up.
Right.
Right? Like, I'm flawed to the core. You know, like I'm hopeless without any bit of grace. And when Jesus says the prostitute is going to make it into heaven before the religious guy, I guess
it's so easy
I feel like
to judge.
Yes, I feel like I look at that and be like, oh, well, that's a nice little platitude.
It all is, right?
But over the last few years, I've really come to be like, when I actually have seen prostitutes,
right?
It's one thing when you read that in the Bible and you think, oh, prostitutes, right? Like Elijah went to Amsterdam and saw the red light district.
He literally saw prostitutes.
It's one thing to think, oh yeah, prostitutes
in a glowing light.
Yes,
literally, like.
But when you've actually dealt with prostitutes, like being a police officer, being in these experiences, and then you'd be like, Jesus says that person is the one that's getting into heaven.
That's beyond the surface, right?
Right. So then I look and go like, I drastically where I'm at. So I asked you where you're at.
Yeah.
Where I'm at is I'm at a place in my life where I feel like maybe I feel like I'm starting to get the fact that I'm not perfect.
It's it's funny that you say that. As I bang my head, but it's funny that you say that. It's like I've learned and from a specific individual at times who was like, well, I did this and this and this for Jesus, you know, and I wanted to wring his neck and go, but what haven't you done for Jesus? Because in the end, that's kind of like really the idea, right? I mean, the things that we haven't done are the things that condemn us. And like, oh my God, when you go there, when you go to the things that you haven't done that you could have done, there's a lot more there than the pedestal
right.
that you feel like you could climb upon. So there's a pedestal here for Aunt Edna. And then
Aunt
there's
Edna.
a pedestal.
Good old Aunt Edna.
And there's a pedestal that you can't reach. That you don't, like I can't do it. That's like, are you kidding me? Like I don't have the stamina. I don't have the grace. I don't have any of that. I can't do it. Which I'm glad. Oh my God, because. Oh God, that guy's got he's got the safety rope. He's got the click. He's on the radio. He knows he's got the guy he's talking to. He can do it, and I don't have that. I just don't freaking have it.
So,
and it's hard for us to give that up, right?
Right. The producer is telling us to wrap it up.
Fuck you, underproduced, underpaid.
That's a
producer
Christian thing to say.
Jerk face. I've been drinking.
What I would say,
WWJD, man. What would Jesus do? Definitely wouldn't
you
be
sound
doing.
like you ate some edibles.
Definitely wouldn't be doing any of that, man.
WWJD, man.
Dude, I got my hoodie pulled over. I'm like ready for bed over
Yeah,
here.
it is late. In
it's
Michigan,
it's so late,
literally
guys.
11:58.
It's so late. It's 11:58. I work midnights.
I'll
be up until
it's
4 in
late.
the morning, kicking ass.
It's late for
That's
me.
not true.
To wrap this up, I would say that whatever discussion we have about religion, I think that Dave and I are at least on the same page enough to say this discussion doesn't come from a place where we feel like we're better than anybody.
Oh my God, no! I am horrible.
We're both.
I'm sorry, Joyce. I'm an idiot.
We're openly admitting that while we may be married to saints, we ourselves are quite the sinners.
Yeah.
So this is a discussion in terms of there's a lot more that can come from that. It's not something that is going to be every week we're talking about this, but certainly something that, because it's a part of the fabric of who we are as people, as
Maybe you wanna hear
husbands, as
more,
fathers, as whatever.
Maybe you don't. Yeah.
We'll talk about it again in the future, but would love to hear
we will.
We will.
It's the only way we talk. It's the only way we talk about religion.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to you in 10 years.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
All right. So
Your father screwed us over for years.
in one episode, we pretended to get high on patrol, and we talked about religion.
Yeah,
so
good call.
Perfect.
Wow.
Perfect juxtaposition there.
Bastards. I didn't know what else to say.
All right.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Later.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.